Hey, it's Neville Medora here, and one of the biggest mistakes I see people making in their writing is doing what's called the rambling old man syndrome. And that's when it feels like you're listening to a rambling old man who never finishes a specific story. Kind of think about someone like Abe Simpson from The Simpsons just rambling about stories and never getting anywhere, and the kids are like, Grandpa, what are you talking about? But it is a really common problem, and especially in writing, whenever you're telling a rambling story with a lot of different directions it's going in, it gets very confusing for your readers. People do this in their blog posts, in their emails, in their memos all the time. So they'll start a story, and they'll be like, oh, and that reminds me of this time, and then they're off on another story, and then they say, speaking of which, do you remember? And they're off on another story, and then side note, and then before I forget, and then in the end, you're like, what were we talking about again? This kind of writing is often done whenever people take crazy outlines that look like this. So they have an intro and a point and then a sub point and then a sub point and a sub point to that sub point and another point. And then they go back to a different point and then they do other sub points for those points. I mean, it gets so confusing that it just kind of hurts to look at, right? So nested ideas like this look cool when you're taking notes, but they are terrible for writing. All right, so how do you solve this? Well, the easiest way to solve rambling old man syndrome is by answering this question before writing. The point of this article is. That's all you have to do. Ask the point of this article is and fill in the blank. So let's go through some examples. The point of this article is to show people how to write a cold email. Or the point of this email is to get them to call my phone number. Or the point of this tweet is to show them that you should avoid rambling old man syndrome. So by knowing what your article is about first, you can keep your story structure easy to read like this. It's just start, you make a point, you make another point, you make another point, and the end. And that way, it's easy to write, it's easy for the reader to understand. That's it. That's all you have to know. I've done consulting with Fortune 500 companies with their whole marketing team, and I've told them this exact same thing, that before you write anything, just remember, the point of this article is, and oftentimes they can't answer that question. They want to write a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, no. In one sentence, the point of this article is, and that will make your content much simpler to read. Also, rambling old man syndrome is a really common issue we help people treat in our members areas. Check it out. So you can post your own outline, you can post your own blog posts or email, and our writers will go punch it up for you and show you how to get rid of the rambling old man syndrome so you can make it better and more effective. My name is Neville Medora, and I will talk to you later.